Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to access the database of scanned newspapers at Google's newspaper site. We will cover the following steps in the process: accessing the site of the archives, searching for a particular newspaper, looking for a particular issue of a newspaper, navigating within a newspaper, linking to articles, and searching for subjects across all newspapers. Let's get started. You can access the site on any major browser. For this demonstration, I'll use Firefox. In the URL box, enter news.google.com/newspapers. This will bring up a list of newspapers arranged alphabetically by first word. At this point, you can search for a specific newspaper, or you can search on a subject. First, I'll show you how to search for a particular newspaper. In some cases, you won't know the exact name of the newspapers, and it might be helpful to start with the name of the city in which it was published. Many newspapers have the city as the first word or words of the newspaper's name. At the top of this page, there's a horizontal bar that serves as an alphabetical guide. To access a newspaper for Lawrence, Kansas, you would click on the L in that bar. This causes the website to jump to all newspapers starting with the letter L. Now you can see that there are 9 newspapers in the archives that start with the city name Lawrence. Be aware that some of these might not be the Lawrence that you are looking for. When you're looking at one of the newspaper issues, you'll want to check the masthead to confirm the location of the newspaper's city. You'll notice that under each newspaper name, there is some fainter text that shows how many issues of that newspaper have been scanned and what the date range is. Keep in mind that this is not the date range of the full publication run of the newspaper, but only the date range of the newspapers that were scanned by Google. Let's look for a specific issue of a Lawrence paper. In this demonstration, we'll first take a look at the Lawrence Weekly World. The website shows that 824 issues were scanned, ranging from March 1892 to March 1909. First, click on the name of the newspaper. This opens up a new page showing several front pages arranged by year. At this point, you can simply scroll horizontally through the years of issues by clicking on the right or left arrows at the sides of the page. Or you can enter a specific date in the date box at the top of the page. You can enter a year, or a month in a year, or a specific date. To see an entire year arranged by months, just click on View All at the top of one of the columns. For example, clicking on View All in the 1894 column will take you to January 1894 and the first week of newspapers for that year. Now bear in mind that this particular newspaper, like many early papers, published only one issue per week. So you might see an issue for January 4th, 1894, and then you would have to scroll right in order to see the next issue, which was published on January 11th. You'll often find the same situation with daily newspapers that did not publish a Sunday edition. To see the newspaper itself, simply click on its front page. This will bring you to the scanned copy of the entire edition. You'll see now that you have 2 windows, both of which allow you to advance to the next page by clicking and dragging on the newspaper. You can also enter the page number you want, and it will jump directly to that page. Now, of course, the print is much too small to read, so you'll want to zoom in closer. First, it's helpful to click on the full screen icon at the top of the window. As you can see, this gets rid of the additional window on the right side of the screen and fills the entire screen with the newspaper. Now you can zoom in further by clicking on the magnifying glass at the top of the window. Once you have zoomed in, you can still move the view window around on the newspaper until you find the article you want. You can also move up, down, left, and right using the arrow keys or page up and page down keys on your computer keyboard. Once you have the text at a comfortable size, you can browse through the pages and read as you would a physical newspaper. If you find an article you want to send by email, simply click again on the full screen button so that the menu bar appears again, and then click on Link to Article. The program will then prompt you to click on a headline to choose an article. There are limitations here, as Google will only allow you to click on areas that are highlighted in blue when you hover over them. In some cases, the article you want will not be one of the ones with a highlighted headline. However, sending a link to a nearby article will, in some cases, be enough for someone to be able to locate another article on the same page. Lastly, there is an interesting way to search on the Google Newspaper Archives. At the top of the home page, there is a search box with two options, Search Archive and Search the Web. If you type in, for example, Lusitania, and click Search Archive, you will get many pages of results for scanned newspapers that mention the Lusitania. You can click on any of these links, and you will be taken to that article in one of the newspapers. This is a good way of searching across several different newspapers in different cities to get different versions of the same story. So that's an overview of how to use the Google News Archive to read old newspapers. We've learned how to access the site of the archives, search for a particular newspaper, look for a particular issue of a newspaper, navigate within a newspaper, link to articles, and search for subjects across all newspapers. Good luck and happy reading!